The acid in the ocean, acids all across the world are limiting the ability for life to grow. It's becoming a problem, major problem.
The movement from seeing the first phase of your first models, seeing that it discharges in the GDV camera, and then refining it to be more energy oriented. So how is this a solution to, for example, let's just start with like detoxifying metals in the body that people say heavy metals are a problem.
I have a structured air device. I can't keep them in stock. They're back ordered 20 at a time every time I receive them. A lady in Alabama, it was a combination of things. The structured unit was put into a lady's room in a nursing home for one thing, but there was a lady roommate that was bedridden with dementia. That's heavy metals on the brain. Within 30 days of structured air, she was up walking around talking about all the birthdays she missed, their address, where they lived, and who they were.
That's cool.
How does that work? One of the huge aspects of structuring is the release of free oxygen. So you have to go back and look at how water works. Water travels in clusters. The clustered water in your neck of the woods is about 60, 70,000 water molecules in a cluster. At your cellular level, your cells can only receive one water molecule at a time. So how do you get from 60,000 down to one?
Yeah.
How does your body work that out?
Even without a device, the body itself can take the 60,000 and bring it to the one.
Yes, yes, it can. Absolutely. And it's all has to do with creating a full-on structuring event continually in your body. Basically, your heart does it. I've been challenged with that. It's the only mechanism in your body that constricts the blood enough to cause it to spin. And the
Yeah.
vortices in both directions causes your body to be the liquid within your body to be structured.
The only other place I came across that was Frank Chester, who talked about the chestahedron geometry and how it was similar to the heart. And then Dr. Tom Cowan wrote a book about the heart where he was saying it's not a pump, but basically it will intake the blood, anything the organs don't want or whatever goes in the blood comes to the heart. It does the vortices, and then it
Okay.
creates the solution and then sends it out.
So you need to have a structuring condition in your body 24/7. The moment you lose structuring, you die. Why? Because at your cellular level, your cells have no doorways, have no openings. The only access to get water into your cells is lowering the viscosity of the water, the tension on the water. Viscosity is measured in dynes, dynes. In order for the water to enter through the cell wall, it has to be 46 dynes or lower. Structured water creates a lower dyne structure, which is about anywhere between 42, 44, somewhere in that neighborhood. It varies, but it needs to be at least 46 to enter through the cell wall. Water travels in clusters. When your body structures water, it creates clusters down to 6 water molecules in a cluster.
It's amazing.
That's the way it travels
Mhm.
through your body. Structured, it's 6 water molecules, hexagonal water. It goes through your gut, picks up the energy of all the food you eat and drink, and carries it to every cell in your body. When that 6 water molecule cluster comes to a cell, the cell is asking for vitamins or minerals or whatever it's asking for. It negotiates with the water molecule cluster, kind of like a credit card, a multiple negotiation of numbers and exchange to ensure that what this water molecule cluster is carrying is in the best interest of the cell itself. Negotiation. communication. There's a lot of devices out there that you guys are utilizing every day that limits that negotiation capability
You're talking about cell phones?
in the far reaches, but you can fix the cell phone with structuring.
People selling red lights and just go in front of sit in front of a red light and that's gonna boost your vitamin D precursors and
You can rattle off all of them. Uh, I'm not going to get into it right at this moment. There are devices that you're using that disrupt the communication between your cells and your brain.
Wi-Fi routers in people's houses and stuff. There's just one example.
Could be. It could be a simple energy field. It could be having a piece of furniture in the wrong place in your home or the way your house is built. It could be all kinds of things. Primarily, it comes down to what you believe. If you're drinking structured water and or even your own physiology is healthy, all your functions are working perfectly. Each water molecule has a capacity of 440,000 ions, IONS. These are parts of frequency. You have 6 of them. They come to a cell. The cell is asking for vitamin A and iron, calcium, and potassium, and magnesium, and whatever all else it needs. Then the negotiation happens. The water molecule cluster opens up into a train. The water enters the Aquaporin channel. The cargo gets unloaded into the ion channel of the cell. And just before it goes out of the cell, it picks up the garbage from internal, which is down deep inside of the oxygen atom, picks up the garbage. And it picks up the unused cargo, rides on the outer edge of the water molecule. It forms back into a cluster of 6 water molecules and goes to the next cell and does the same thing over and over and over until one water molecule of the cluster gets full of garbage. When that happens, that water molecule cluster heads for your elimination system. It goes into your lymph system and ends up in your elimination system. That's considering that all your body functions are operating at full potential. Your age, more than likely, everything is fine, but there's a lot of people out there that it's not.
How does the structured water then enhance this process that you're talking about? Does it allow it to collect more of the garbage or faster?
I mean, every cell it comes to, it collects the garbage.
It's like a better trash
Right.
process collector.
Yes, right. And the closer it gets to your brain, a lot of heavy metals. But remember this, that garbage in the cell is just energy. It's not physical. Your cells have no capacity for anything physical to enter it. A physical object would be way too big. In fact, it would be like, say, if a bullet enters through your muscle,
Yeah.
which a lot of us have had that happen. My whole intention was to bring the energy up to ensure maximum energy.
Mhm.
It's that energy that opens your cells up. It not only opens up and awakens it awakens dormant cells. It brings your whole physiology into an aligned attunement now, all facets working simultaneously.
One of the best conductors for the symphony rather than just having someone who's like average.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
the higher the biophoton energy, the quicker that action is. So all of us that have a ultra high energy house unit, our hair is growing back to its original color. Mine is not fast at this, but I knew in my mind my hair would never grow back because when I was 26, I was in a radiation chemical radiation incident,
Hmm.
and my hair went from brown to white instantaneously.
I purchased some Vortex devices that have magnetic arrays, let's just say, with it. And do we even need the magnets? Do we even need magnets when it comes to water, or the geometry of the vortex is enough?
The geometry of the vortex is perfect. Magnets emulate structure in water. A magnet on your 60,000 water molecule cluster will divide that 60,000 by 5, and you'll end up with 15,000.
It divides it up, but that doesn't make it smaller like a vortex would.
No, it brings it down to 15,000, but your body will react with joy because then the water is more easily digested.
As to oppose of how many molecules are in a reverse osmosis, whether that's from a store or a machine that's at home.
Reverse osmosis, remember, is like a glorified filter. It removes everything physical from the water, but it doesn't remove the energy of the physical. And you get down to your cellular level, that's all your cells can receive is energy.
So it's another Kangen scam.
Yes, yes, it is. The however is the water is more easily digested because it doesn't have anything physical in it.
What if it's like a household unit, someone's putting tap water in an OR machine and then they're drinking that? The tap water, city municipalities purport to have filters for physical stuff, but there's so much, people are eliminating and they take pharmaceuticals, and most people who might watch this, they're oriented on the physical part, but are learning that the blueprint of the information is still stored in that. So if we're putting tap water into reverse osmosis, that energy blueprint is still in the water.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yes, it is. And it's not pretty. It's where we have come to, in a sense. RO water softeners will probably be a thing of the past, basically because they both severely contaminate the refuge water. Refuge basically being the gray water, and cities don't have enough groundwater, so they use gray water for the tap water. More than likely, they RO it to put it back into the tap water.
So people who don't have a structured device for their shower or underneath their sink, they're using that water to brush their teeth. They're using the tap water to fill the OR
Yes,
device. It's just
yes,
recycled gray water that has
yes,
all this blue energy blueprint waste
yes.
in it still.
Statistically, the water goes through 23 people before it goes back to nature. And gray water, the gray water resource is people. That people passes through 23 people before the water itself goes back through the natural hydrological cycle, which is water evaporating, going up in the atmosphere and returning as rain. Rainwater is structured, perfectly structured, perfectly balanced. However, in its transition down to the earth, it comes by the 1 or 2 tons of carbon hanging over your head. It maintains its structure. It just pulls down with it a significant amount of acid. The memory in water is held in oxygen. So the oxygen atoms are the keepers of the memory. That acid that's hanging in the atmosphere, yes, is physical. Water at that stage does actually collect the physical also and brings it down to the earth. It's the memory of the physical is the harmful effect on the human element.
If our cells are flashing in and out of existence over trillions of times a second, and we're getting old data and not new data, that's
Right.
preventing us from basically
Yeah. And that too.
in that
Yes.
too. Yeah. People who have used one of your shower head structured units, and have they ever communicated that they had skin issues because the city water, someone who's in the city, for
Yeah.
example, they
Yeah.
use the structured unit for the shower, they have skin issues, and then the skin issues go away?
Yes. All the time. thousands
Because
of
it's
them.
getting it's getting clean information, and
Right.
that is what you're saying, that the
Right.
oxygen is pure and there's no memory in there.
When you structure water, you end up with a 25% increase in free oxygen. When you use air, you're structuring the air, you end up with a 35% increase in free oxygen. You think about the air is every breath you take. And not only that, every unit, whether it's the air or the water units, are infused with all the nutrients essential for life, trillions of frequencies.
In one oxygen molecule.
One water molecule can carry 440,000 ions. That's the whole unit is comprised of many water molecule clusters and a significant amount of free oxygen. What free oxygen does is it goes into your cells alongside of the water molecule and the ion and the ions from the water molecule. Free oxygen goes into your cells and eliminates everything that doesn't serve that cell, pushes it into your elimination system, into your lymph.
Back to the story of the woman who was in the hospital, you're taking the geometry of the vortices for the structuring unit for the water, and you've applied it into an air unit, which technically, would you define it as a filter or would you word it differently?
It is a filter. Structured air can't carry anything physical, so it's all energy. The physical is the air itself, and that air, again, is going into your body and going through a mechanism. The air you breathe is then utilized for everything that it needs to be utilized for. I probably know more about the physicalness of the human body than most doctors,
Right. Yeah.
basically because in the research and the places I went, I needed to be able to identify issues if they came and which direction to send them.
These units that are sold on your website, they can last a whole lifetime. Have you had anyone ever say, "Oh, the device for water didn't work or the air device," or is it because of the correct geometry and the engineering of it, it has a long longevity?
It's forever. Even if you drive over with a truck, you're the only one you would really damage
The
would be the air
portable.
unit or the portable. Yes. All the steel units and even the plastic units, except for the structured air, they all have a nine year warranty. The structured air is a 5 year warranty. Basically, that's the fan that uh, it has a 1200 RPM fan internal to it, which will run about 5 years. It may run much longer. If it's in a steady environment, it'll run probably, who knows, might run forever. Some of the beautiful things about biophoton energy is they're accumulative, or let's say they're building. I had a guy ask me, he wanted a formula for the bi for measuring the biophoton energy, say if a person runs a structured water unit every day in their home, the biophoton energy of a ultra high energy is 9,072. As it cleans up the arena, the home, the yard, the neighbors, wherever it's going to go, the energy increases.
Like you're saying earlier, energy upon energy upon energy.
Right. It increases, it gets more aggressive. It doesn't really matter what the unit is, whether it's like a house unit. People say their neighbors are happier, their grass is greener.
And so one of the benefits of having just one person in an apartment complex, for example, have a shower unit, it could transform everyone to be more coherent.
Right.
And then
Yeah,
if they're in a
because
house, they have
right,
neighbors that are close by, the less fighting
be-
maybe, or
right, because that energy is scalar, no barriers. Frequency is hertz.
cycles
It's
per
a
second.
waveform.
Yeah.
Scalar is a non-Hertzian energy. It doesn't have a waveform. It's an energy field, non-Hertzian field. Hertz or frequency can be contained. They're physical. It's like having a box of apples. If you put it in a box, it's just a box of apples. If you open up a box of apples, those apples off gas, primarily apples in a box, off gassing, they're deteriorating. When an apple's growing on a tree, that apple is feminine energy, left spin. The moment you pick the apple goes into masculine decomposition, death, heat.
Those rotations, those are incorporated in the water device, in the air device that you have clockwise and counterclockwise simultaneous.
Yes,
And that's part of like the polarity of our reality and mirroring just how reality works. Like it's
yes,
it's polarity manifested, basically.
yes,
Yeah. The more people use these units, this is a solution to a lot of the problems that we're observing in the world today
yes, huge. Yes,
because it's all energy. So if we have a strategy that is energy based, then we're working with the superstructure and we're not trying to move chairs on the Titanic with the infrastructure.
right,
Because
right,
that's it. That seems like what people's doing is like they're really focused on infrastructure and
right.
then they try to play whack-a-mole and they're like, okay, well, maybe let's do something in the superstructure. It's a social thing. But then they realize, well, we're not even really getting the outcomes that we want here either. We have to go to the superstructure. And so what you're describing your device as, that center point of the device where these vortexes meet and the hydrogen and the oxygen is clean and the energy builds off previous times and every time that it's used, that is supporting the superstructure.
Very true. Very well put. Thank you.
Like Aristotle talked about downward causation or, the journey from consciousness into matter. And people try, like you're saying, the 3D Cartesian world, try to strategize from matter into consciousness, and it just doesn't work out that way.
Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Do you think that the vortex science will ever need to go into technology? For example, we use our cell phones. People are concerned about 5G, 6G cell phone towers, and there's even some physicists like Nassim Haramein has talked about because the proton surface area was measured incorrectly, that a lot of our technology is incorrect because of that measurement, and
Right.
that if we had the accurate measurement, we could actually build technology that was in harmony with our biology. Would we even need that, or is structuring the water and the air enough in your view?
It's one part of it. The human genome has the ability to communicate with everything out there, everything that exists.
Mhm.
It's just we haven't practiced it. We have no idea that we have this concept, this possibility.
And it's damaged because of the broken water and the
Well,
toxins.
it may be damaged. More, I would say it's just not used. I do believe that as we grow through this, and one of the first things that's going to happen, our communication system is based on electrons. Guess what the sun off gases?
Photons,
Photons. Photons consume electrons.
they're
You
larger.
you already have places in the world where all the communications is wiped out from the sun. It has to be rebuilt. You can't just turn it off and turn it back on or reboot it.
So if we do radionics and I draw a phone and then I press the numbers on there and I can call you
Yes,
from my piece of paper.
yes, yes.
We'll
In
just move to
fact,
telepathy.
it happens for me all the time. When I think about a person, they call me. Back in my day and my time, it was common to do that because the radio waves were being monitored. You couldn't do or say or whatever.
So the future of the communication, what do you see that being? It won't be based on electrons or photons, it will be something else.
It'll be based on photons right now. That's what the industry right now is holding off, basically because they've got a lot invested in electron technology. The military, we developed photon communications back in the 70s or 80s. So
People have used, I think I've seen old texts to talk about using trees,
trees, yeah.
like plugging something actually into a tree as an antennae because it is using isn't it vortexing water too in some way
Yeah. Yes, it is. Right. Right.
and it pulls water up, which is
Right.
the opposite of what science says that the water should go down based on gravity.
Right. Right. It pulls it up. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. In Arizona, did you ever come across Patrick Flanagan?
Oh yeah. He lived near me.
So you're familiar with his whole story of getting that vial of the Hunza water.
Yeah. I never really got involved with his story. Hunza water of Pakistan is it's in a valley, Hunza Valley. It's in the Himalayas. There's a salt mountain. It's pure salt. I think it's like 23,000 feet. The Hunza water is white in color. And normally, when water is that color, it has a total dissolved solids is way up there. The total dissolved solids of Hunza water, I believe, was 4. It's an impossible number considering the water was white. Everything about structuring from the science point of view, is impossible. So when people would drink the structured water from the water from Hunza, they would detox.
There it is.
It didn't matter how perfect they thought their body was.
Yogis.
People lived inordinately long lives. They had babies at 80.
Right, and that's what the one of the significance of that it was they're citing like it's Centaurians, they'd live to be past 100 or
Yeah,
something like this.
right, absolutely. Yeah, all possible. We're all going there. How old am I? I'm 87 years old. I just turned 87 on the 13th of this month. My physical is more 56.
So another benefit of the structured water and air is that there's this longevity because the physiology is actually working the way nature intended.
It's building my current DNA constantly.
So just like how multiple people are using the units out in society and that energy grows, it's a
Right.
similar phenomenon inside the physiology, the neighborhood of inside our body, so to speak.
Right. Dr. Konstantin Kurokov taught classes on the GDB, and he taught probably 4 classes in Sedona. I sponsored 2 of them, cost me a fortune. The actual learning curve is doing it, being out in the field, accomplishing it, seeing the difference, going into a hotel and taking a sample of water and then simply take a bottle or a cup of structured water and flush it down the toilet, and then go to the other side of the hotel and take a sample of the water and see that it's changed, structured.
From a separate, like a random spigot on the building.
You all are in the physical world, chemistry. You have really no regard for energy. Chemists, they shun energy. Energy devices are impossible. They're hoaxes. That's their view because they realize that the energy device is going to overtake them and put them out of business. True, it's going to.
Some might not want to acknowledge energy, yet the periodic table will show the weight. It
Yes.
will, it's a form
Yeah,
of
it
energy.
does. But they're not looking at that. They refuse to look at that.
Right.
But let's go back to the pipes in the hotel.
Yeah.
All the pipes run together. The water pipe, the hot water, the cold water, and the sewer line are all in the same bundle.
Systems dynamic. Yeah.
And they all talk to one another. So this flushing structured water in a toilet down into the sewer system, going past the water lines, talks to the water lines. It's a concept of entrainment.
So a lot of people who are so-called environmentalists and they want to do all these different move the chairs on the Titanic infrastructure. It would be more beneficial for them to get a structured unit in there where they live because this would be the doing where it's actually going to make a change in the structured water from our house goes down the drain, goes back to the municipality, and it can even clean and help the municipality whose job is it to clean the water. It will actually do its job better than it has been doing it.
Yes, absolutely. Always.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I mean, I just feel joy and inspired and enthusiastic realizing that that's what it does on a systems level. Like this isn't just for people to have another device in their house or whatever. This is to help make the environment and our biology and one another more coherent and well.
So I want you to see what the energy of your voice right now is creating and will create as you pass this information on.
I feel very thankful to talk to you because I definitely feel some kind of transformation taking place.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's good
That's my
stuff.
intention. My intention is to transform everyone who calls and wants to know. I mean, I talked with a lady recently in New York, Manhattan, was very, very adamant about not buying into the crap, that's out there, getting to the truth now rather than wait.
And you're providing a solution that we can implement. And there are different devices. There's a handheld unit. There are units that you can configure to your shower. You can put the shower head on after the shower unit,
Yes.
and it going through the shower unit doesn't destructure it. It
No,
maintains it's not
no,
affected. The structuring device, nothing can alter it.
pretty much. Direct sunlight can. It's the ultraviolet. So when you get a sunburn, that sunburn is actually burning off the structure in your skin, or at least it's eliminating it. If you go back and take a shower, the structure to your skin comes back. Or if you have a spray bottle of structured while you just spray your skin and the burn goes away, the structure returns.
So there's the shower unit, and then there's different sizes for the garden. So
Yep.
people
Here's,
want taller, stronger, more beautiful flowers and
yep.
a
Here's,
higher yield of food. There's videos where you can see how people in agriculture have already been implementing this for
yep.
years,
Yep.
if not decades.
Yep.
There is an under sink unit. I think families just brushing their teeth, and don't brush your teeth with city tap water. Like, please get
Especially if you go to Mexico.
man. And I've heard, and there's someone who recently went there to a hotel and they even drank bottled water, and I think all they did was take a shower and they got sick.
Right, exactly.
And just by having a shower unit, you could easily put
Right,
that on there and fix that problem so you don't get sick if you travel. That's another
right.
benefit to this, that you know that your health will be protected if you travel and you're showering somewhere else, and they don't have a shower filter. This will work.
Yes.
What is the difference between the structured handheld unit and the super structured water portable handheld unit?
Here is a structuring portable. It's the original. Here's a super portable structuring unit.
So it's a little bit larger.
Yeah. The difference is Biofoton. This is the smallest one I make, 4.5. This is 54. When I developed natural action technologies, the biophoton energy field was 0.001. Of all the technologies, all the units, we never got it over one. Even in my home, I had 9 house units in series. It was 0.18. It broke the barrier of structuring. It allowed people with a physical portable.
Okay, that was the first model.
Yep. And this is in a see-through yellow. So this is the original. The colors all have defined qualities. So this again, this is one of 8 colors. There's white, gray, red, orange, yellow, blue, pink, and purple. If you carry something like this in your car, this comes with a base, a small base that you just set it in and it stands up. These devices are, yes, for water, for liquids. But if you carry one in your car and you come upon an accident is where your brain struggles with the view, blood, carnage, takes your emotional system into chaos, which will eliminate you. Shock. If you take this unit, small end, breathe through it. Just breathe. You can breathe in through your mouth, in through your nose. One breath will take you out of shock.
Wow.
These are things that are impossible to the medical world, to the science world. It will take your emotional system and make it put it into a normal state. I've had dozens of people who have called me, wrote to me, and said this allowed them to dial 911, report
Wow.
the accident.
So someone probably having a panic attack too, because we're talking about sympathetic, parasympathetic, and that goes
Yes,
back to the sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium
yes,
balance, and this can help. This is probably balancing that in some way.
yes, yes,
Yeah. And the other ones that you have are attachments for irrigation. There's the structured water whole house unit. And how have people mostly use that one? Do they put that on for the pipe that's the main source of incoming water to the whole home? And that
yeah,
way they don't need the under the sink ones like in every room. You just get one for the house before the water enters the house.
right.
And now it's
And
cleaning everything.
it goes to the hose bibs, it goes everywhere, within the home unit. It provides your showers, your wash machine, virtually every aspect of your water system. Just remember when you put structured water in, your pipes have to detox. One of the biggest detoxing issues is your water heater. In the instruction sheet that comes with it, we recommend that you get a 5-gallon bucket and drain it down, say 4 gallons out of the bottom spigot of your water heater. That'll drain off the loose calcium that's built up on the bottom of your water heater, drain it into the bucket. But only do like 4 gallons or so, then let it cool, and then put your hand in it and see how much sediment there is in the bottom of the bucket. And then you can dump it out, dump it on a plant or whatever, or a tree. And then 3 or 4 days or later, do it again, because the structuring is going to is going to remove all of the calcium buildup inside of the tank. It's going to drop it down to the bottom, and you want to remove it because the structuring is also going to dissolve it entirely if you don't. And probably will be components of it, maybe, that would get off into your water system. The worst place that those components could go would be to your commode, preventing the water from shutting off when you flush it. It's just easier to drain it. You make it clear. And from then on, it's clear sailing. Your systems, your water heater will be more efficient. Everything will cost you less in your home.
And you have an industrial unit too, so have you ever had feedback from people who own or manage apartments or hotels and they've implemented this and they have seen better energy costs or different benefits?
It would be a beautiful thing to receive, but
Not yet.
rarely comes.
Yeah.
You have to pry it out of people's,
I'm gonna
you
command
know,
it. I'm gonna
yeah.
command it, Clayton.
It's the same thing with farming. Farmers, when they realize the value of this, they don't want their competitors to get it. The only farmers that I easily communicate are those who share, would be like the Amish, the Hutterites, other farmers. There are other farmers that do, but it's not easy, basically because they don't have the language. And what you're doing is providing with people, you are providing people with the potential, having a voice, being able to say it, to ask the questions.
I've learned so much, and so many people are going to learn so much from this. Clayton, I appreciate your time today, and I look forward to our next conversation going deeper and showing humans what else is possible beyond the 3D world.
Okay,
All
good.
right.
It's about time. You need to get past the barrier, of that physical, you need to
Less
explore.
supplements and more ionic minerals.
Right.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right,
Yep.
thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
If you found this conversation interesting and supportive, you can go to pneumathrive.com to the products tab on the top of the website. And on the products page, you can learn more about Clayton Nolte's structured water technology and purchase it here. You can learn about the benefits, the studies, and the science. And all the different devices that you wish to purchase are on this page, such as the portable structure water device, the shower structure water device, the sink structure water device, as well as a structuring unit for the whole home. You can click the Buy Now button, and that will take you to a separate page with more specific information about the structured water device that you're interested in. Scroll to the bottom, there is another Buy Now button, which you will click, and this will take you to the contact page. You can just put your first name, your email address, and in the text area, just put what structured water device you are interested in purchasing. If this video was supportive and useful to you, please consider sharing it with friends and family. Thanks for watching.